time to waste. Ain't got no time to play with folks. Y'all folks lying. Y'all folks trying too much. Stay close to y'all.
What does community mean to me? Community means everything. That's why I do the work I do.
I think community is something that I have that I belong to, and it's also something that exists that I don't belong to, and those are both important aspects of community. So recognizing that I have one, and also recognizing that there are others out there that I'm not a part of.
I mean, I think community is everything in a way, because of kind of the training I did in ethnography and anthropology. I look at everything, I think, first through the lens of culture, and culture exists through a community. Like, it doesn't, you can't have any type of culture without a community. And because humans are just inherently communal and want to be together, so much of our identity, I think, is tied to community.
Yeah, I think community for me, is a group of people who share some common interests and goals, look out for each other, and ultimately, like, they want to be around each other, and they get a lot of their energy and support by being with each other.
I think what's valuable about the word community is recognizing its alternative, right? So people love saying, especially in social impact spaces, like the Southern African phrase Ubuntu, like I am because we are, right? Or all other forms of how marginalized people have recognized the value of we all we got, or like crabs in a bucket, like whatever idiom you want to put into the world, right? But the alternative is how the world is being destroyed right now.
Get on my face, you're not profound. Feel the lightweight, I ain't drop these words. You ain't slip if you pass my sound, my sound, my sound.
And there's like a commonality that we haven't been able to name, and I want our kids to be able to name that. I think design would help that by just providing like a structure for people to be able to like step outside their feelings and just have a objective process to be able to do that. Like I think we just get so caught up in our feelings. If we just had like a structure, an objective structure to be able to engage, then like we would come to a middle. We would come to a common ground. We would find humanity. And I believe like our kids this is what I love about my kids. They have the fortitude, or the scholars, they have the fortitude to do this. I don't think the other side has the empathy, but I think our kids have enough empathy and fortitude if they had a structure and the access and the opportunity to do this.
Sometimes it's just so much going on in their own lives that school is, and the teachers are sometimes so oblivious. And so I tell teachers, look, if you care more about the subject that you're teaching than the subject who you're teaching, there's going to be a disconnect. And so what the D School let me do is to say, you could take a year and go focus on the work that you really want to do in education. Our schools are struggling, not because teachers are bad, not because people in education don't care. The system is not designed to work. Schools are the only system, I would say probably the only, that looks like it did 100 years ago. Teacher in the front, students in rows, looking at the front, listen to the teacher, regurgitate what they say, put it on the test, and we expect it to work. What other business looks like it did 100 years ago and we expect it to be successful? I don't know of one. But what happens with schools is that we keep doing that same cycle. Oh, there's a few schools who sit kids in groups of 4. Oh, now you're in a group looking at the front, listen to the teacher who's in charge, right? And maybe a few of these new schools and charter schools are trying new innovative things, but the world's moving on. And so what in my work, what the D School let us do is to really let us say, look, if you have this belief that school can be amazing, that kids can love learning, then take this year and go do it.
Similes, sending me, sending you. Senegal, centrifuge, spin around.
Again, community is about connection and understanding. And how do we build that? We build that first by starting with ourselves, then moving on to where somebody else might sit and what they might be experiencing, and then developing a space for we. So I call it like the you, me, you, we.
Design, I think, is based on community. Like, one, we're designing things to exist in a world, to exist typically in some sort of society. And because of that, if you want to create them with intention, you have to very much so build them in the context of that community.
And we got some tools. We arguably leaned on the tools as what was most important. Mind mapping, brainstorming, 2x2s. You learn that and all the good stuff comes out. No, the tools aren't the deal. It's the conversation that happens in these disparate groups. That's the magic.
And community is the people that you decide to be in your circle. Like, community are the people who not just share your values, but also are passionate and have the same conviction and have the same ethics and morality, regardless of what your views are.
And it's about that trust that is the real link, that we will connect, that we will support each other, and that we will help shape whatever we want to move forward.
For the lightweight, I drop these words. You might just slip if you pass my sound. So remote, I control the show, but I don't promote what you found.